Michael Goldberg here, speaker, coach, author of Knockout Networking here, weighing in for another 3-minute round. Today's focus is everyone is not a prospect, because if everybody was, you'd have to sell to them. I just got off the phone yesterday with my newest client. This was a woman I've never met face-to-face, nose-to-nose, belly-to-belly, but have spoken to many times on the phone. I was connected to her 2 years ago after doing a talk in a place I have no recollection of, but one of the sales producers thought I would be a good resource and put me in touch, and she heads up the sales team for this big company nationally. So I spoke to her 2 years ago, had a great conversation, and we determined that the timing was not right. There was no budget, there was just no priority, there was no this, there was no that. I simply asked her if it made sense to stay in touch because I thought we had a great connection. And she said, absolutely, feel free to call anytime that you want. And like clockwork, every other month, I made a phone call, she returned the call, we chit-chatted, I learned more about her organization. Well, just yesterday, we spoke, we had a scheduled call, and the time is now. The reason I was able to stay in touch with her and have such a positive and effective dialogue is because she was a true prospect. We use the phrase or the term prospect, I think very, very loosely, is anybody that you want to be your client. But that's not what a prospect is at all. A prospect is someone that knows you or knows of you, is interested in doing business with you either now or at some point in the future, and you know this because they told you. That's a prospect. So they have to know you or know of you, and there has to be some inkling or interest that they want to hire you to do, well, what you do, right? So in order to stay in touch with a prospect, you need to in fact qualify that they are a prospect. And you can just simply ask, well, the timing isn't right now, but do you envision that the timing might be right for us to work together and be resources for one another at some point in the future? And you can just move forward based upon what they're saying, the type of connection that you have, and their openness to stay in touch with you. So my suggestion is this, is that you work off of their cadence, you work off of their interest, and you ask them what might make the most sense in terms of staying in touch. Should I call you every couple of months? What might work best for you? And whatever they tell you, you go with, and you put them on your prospect list and make sure that you have a system for staying in touch. It might take 2 days, it might take 2 weeks, or in this case, it might take 2 years. But one day, that true prospect, and they have to be a true prospect, will become a true client. Remember, everyone is not a prospect. Well, you heard the bell, so that's it for another round of 3-minute rounds. If you've got questions, comments, emotional outbursts, feel free to weigh in through an email at michael@michaelnetworks.com. I've got tons of resources available. You can ask me about them. And remember, keep the left up.